How did you start this company?
Basically, we are in precision engineering, and we're a manufacturing company. The product we manufacture is mainly crushers.
I think when a new order comes to you for a particular crusher, is it customized to the customer's requirement, or do we have standard products?
In the sense that the equipment that we make is standardized to a great extent. As I mentioned earlier, the crusher that you'll use for whether it's aggregate mining or mining in the sense of coal, iron ore, bauxite, whatever mineral or ore it is, the crusher remains the same. There might be minor modification.
Welcome, friends. My name is Avinash Gorakshakar, and I welcome all of you to another interesting episode of Konexio HighFlyers. Friends, we introduce emerging companies from emerging sectors in these episodes, and we make it a point to talk to the promoters and the top managements of such companies so that we get to understand these companies better. We get to know their business model, their growth journey, their future growth plans. And in this process, we get a lot of valuable information from the promoters and the top management. This helps all our investors to take a very conscious investment call. And friends, today we are going to talk about another interesting company, which is operating in a very niche space. The company's name is Taurian MPS Limited, and I have the privilege of having the managing director, Mr. Yashvardhan Bajla. Yashvardhan ji, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद sir. Thank you for your time. I'm quite sure, sir, in a very small interview of this kind, we'll be able to understand your company's operations in a much better manner.
Definitely. Thank you for having me.
So, Yashvardhan ji, first question, which is very elementary. If you could tell us, sir, what is the broad business model of our company, what product our company makes, and sir, what is the positioning of our company in the domestic market? And sir, one added question, which you would like to know is that, sir, how did this business journey for you start? How did you start this company? Is it a first generation company, or was it started by your father and then you took it over? Sir, if you can please share your thoughts.
So I'll give you a little brief about what the company does and what our product is. So basically, we are in precision engineering, and we're a manufacturing company. The product we manufacture is mainly crushers. So crushers are used in the industry where there's anything infra involved. What does that mean? So if I have to build a road today, whether it's road building, whether it's building buildings, building dams, anything related to infra will require a crusher. A crusher is something that will take a 1 meter rock and crush it down all the way from 1 meter to 250 mm, then to 160 mm, and then you get end products like 40 mm, 20 mm, 10 mm, sand, dust, and all of these are end products that are sold in the market for infra purposes. Similarly, the same crushers are also used in the mining industry for any type of ore, whether it is coal, whether it is iron ore, whether it is making silica sand, bauxite, any type of ore that you need to crush, manganese, gold, whatever it is. That also requires crushers with maybe a different setup, but it requires crushers. Apart from crushers, our next range of equipment is beneficiation equipment. That again is for aggregates and mining sector. In the mining sector, it is for mainly improving ore quality and removing unwanted contaminants or unwanted materials from your processed ore. Similarly, in the infra industry, it is for making things like manufactured sand and again removing unwanted ultra fines, which harm the quality of your end product of sand. So that is one range of equipment. Thirdly, our last range of equipment is the Stack Max range of equipment. That is a conveying range of equipment that is used for large scale mines where they have to convey heaps, probably 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 tons per day from the pit to the port. And they require conveyors, maybe not only internally in the mine, but also beyond from the mine to the port. Apart from that, these conveyors are also used on things like ports, where there's bulk material handling, and you have to maybe load a ship. So yeah, those are the three sectors which we focus on in as part of our products. Coming a bit to the domestic market and where we stand, we probably have the widest range of equipment in the industry currently, and one of the highest ratings in terms of tons per hour. Our crushers are all the way up to 800 tons per hour, and there's very few manufacturers in India who are able to do that. There's only three MNCs mainly which focus on that, which is like Metso, Sandvik, Terex. Uh, those are our main competitors in the multinationals. And the local domestic players, there's three players in the south, namely Propel, Puzilana, Hailstone. So yeah,
Okay.
those are our three main competitors domestic. And yeah, that is what it is.
No, fine. Sir, I just wanted to also know that is this a first generation business from your side or was it a family business? How did your journey start? If you could please tell us.
So this is a second generation business which was started in 2010. In 2010, it was vertically integrated with not only manufacturing machines but manufacturing machines to be used on our own aggregate mines. Over time, we saw that the demand for our aggregate mines was less and the demand for our machines was more. The miners
Correct.
around us wanted to start buying our machines, and then post 2020 is when we really gave it a push and decided to shut all activities related aggregate mining, and it was only focusing on engineering. And that is when our company has seen the most growth, and all revenue now is solely through the engineering business.
So, understood. Acha, Yashvardhan ji, now if you could tell us, what is the total install capacity for all the three product categories you mentioned to us? Install capacity हमारी कितनी होगी?
The current installed capacity of the plant, we expect to do around 450 crores in the same plant. Our plant has grown in size from 20,000 square feet to 40,000 square feet, then 65,000 square feet, and recently we added 40,000 square feet more. The only
Okay.
addition we need to do to the plant is minimal capex of about 6 7 crores, which will be just some CNC machines.
Okay. Yashwardhan ji, one thing what I wanted to understand, are these crushers and other machines which we manufacture, are these all 100% indigenous or have we taken some JV with some foreign collaborator to develop these machines?
So yeah, these machines have been to a great extent indigenous development, but we also have had collaborations in the past, and we have a current collaboration with a company called NR Plus. They
Okay.
are a large EPC manufacturing company, and they've definitely helped us improve our designs, I would say, or do R&D faster. However, our
Okay.
indigenous R&D team is extremely strong, and over the years we have learned a lot, burnt, failed, and that is how we've got to where we are today.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Yashwant ji, if you could tell us something about your customer profile, because this is a heavy capital goods kind of product which you sell to the customer. Sir, हमारे active customers कितने होंगे, and if you can share some names, if it is possible, for the benefit of our viewers, so that we can understand your profile in a much better way.
Definitely. So our customer base has been growing year on year. A couple of years ago, we had 10 major customers. The year after that, we had around 50 major customers. This current year, FY25, we had about 90 plus major customers. In amongst these customers, there are a range of customers. There are both corporate customers and there are local players, much smaller. So I assume you want to hear the corporate customers. And amongst
Yeah.
those corporate customers, we have clients like L&T, which is buying monthly equipment from us. Monthly, they buy something or the other. Then international, locally, then we also have companies like Jindal Stainless, Tata. Then internationally, we have companies like Global Atomic, which is one of the largest uranium miners in the world. Then there's a company called Dasta Sumida, Rusal. Rusal, they are part of, I believe, the LN Mittal Group. So
Okay.
yeah, we have broken into some of the biggest mines in the world.
I think nice to know that, Yashwardhan ji. Yashwardhan ji, now tell me one thing: when a new order comes to you for a particular crusher, is it customized to the customer's requirement, or do we have standard products? I wanted to understand how is the the order taken and how is it catered? Like, are all the customers similar? Do you have separate configurations already, in a standardized way, or is it customized, based on the customer's requirement? If you could please tell us.
So there's a two-part answer to this. It's a yes and a no, in the sense that the equipment that we make is standardized to a great extent. As I mentioned earlier, the crusher that you use for whether it's aggregate mining or mining in the sense of coal, iron ore, bauxite, whatever mineral or ore it is, the crusher remains the same. There might be minor modifications. The
Okay.
major modification happens in the customization of a plant or a flow sheet, where
Okay.
I will decide what size of jaw crusher I will use, what type of jaw crusher I will use, what type of cone crusher I will use, how much length of conveyor I will give it, how much screening I will give it after that. Will I add benefication to it or not? So those are the requirements of the customer that we tailor make and customize. The plants, however, are standardized, as that makes our production life easier.
Okay. Okay. See, first of all, I want to understand two aspects. One is, the machines which you make, specifically the crushers and other machines, they require a
Uh,
lot of components. So I want to understand, Yashvardhan ji, are these components made in-house, or do we have a vendor base developed for us to cater to our requirements? And secondly, how is the pricing of these machines decided? Is it based on the configuration? Is it based on the order size? In case raw material prices go up in between, once an order is taken, do we have an escalation clause, or have we got to honor the contracts at the fixed prices we promise to the customer? So if you could please tell us.
Okay, so I believe there's a two-part question to this. From what I understand, one, you're talking about how much of the manufacturing is done in-house and raw materials, and the second
Yeah.
part being pricing and what
Yeah.
factors determines pricing. So I'll
Correct.
tackle the first part, which is the production and our vendor development. If you look at our purchase, most of our purchase is just raw steel and raw castings. We try and do as much production in-house as possible. Our factory is divided into two bays: fabrication, casting, and assembly. In fabrication, we literally take raw steel, raw sheets of steel. Those sheets of steel are then processed by cutting, bending, rolling, tacking, welding, painting, all of which is done in-house. Similarly, on the casting bay, raw castings are brought to the factory, which are then machined down to 30 microns, 10 microns, 60 microns, different tolerances, whatever it is, different metallurgies for different castings, and then all these components are assembled in a separate bay.
Okay.
So most of our production is done in-house, and the raw purchase is quite just the very raw extent of raw materials. Like if you look at our cogs are about 58% only, and
Okay.
these cogs are also going to come down significantly as due to our cash flow crunches. We are currently buying raw materials also more expensive from traders like in Ghaziabad, Delhi, XYZ.
Yeah.
Apart from that, other raw material purchase includes things like motors, belts, pulleys. So
No,
very minor
understood.
things are purchased from outside. Most things are manufactured in-house. Now coming to pricing, pricing isn't determined by things like configuration much. Pricing is usually determined at the beginning of the year, and every year, of course, whether steel prices rise or don't rise, we typically increase them by a minimum of 2-3%. Factors which do, however, influence pricing, of course, is whether if we've already have a presence in a certain area or not. If I'm not
Correct.
present in a certain area, I will definitely give a more competitive pricing to the customer so that I can make my presence over there. After
Okay.
that, once I have two or three plans set up, then yeah, I jack up my pricing by 10%, 15%,
Okay.
whatever it
Okay.
is. And
Okay.
we still see success in that market. And that is, you can see in our data for Maharashtra, Rajasthan, we have a very strong year-on-year growth. So only when
Okay.
entering new markets is when we give a good opportunity to the customer for trusting us, and then after that we jack up our prices.
Okay. So understood. So basically, please correct me if I'm wrong, Yashvardhan ji. Basically, what you mean is a major part of the value addition is done by the company in-house. They just buy out basically raw parts, and value addition largely is done by ourselves. So that
Right.
is point. That is a very valid point. Sir, tell me one thing. What is the current order book of the company as on date, and in what time do we expect this order book to be converted into revenue?
Right. So the current order book of the company is about 42.5 crores, I believe. Um, of that 42.5 crores, 26 crores is domestic and 16 crores is a export market. So
Okay.
the timeline to execute these orders is always 45 to 60 days. If I have an order book, uh, any order book at any given point of time in the company will be 45 to 60 days. As all
Okay.
POs mentioned that delivery for these goods have to be within 45 to 60 days.
Okay. Okay. Understood.
With these POs, I also take a 20% advance, and those are then provided at the end of 45 to 60 days. The company
Okay.
has already done 30 crores of revenue for FY25, and the 42 crores which I'm talking about is expected to be completed by end October.
Okay. Okay. Understood. Now, Yashwardhan ji, tell me one.
So something interesting about the 16 crores of order book is that if you look at our export blend for the years prior to FY25, it is not more than 5% or 2-3% of our complete revenue. Current year we've already done a 35%, where our existing revenue has been 35% exports, and we expect this by the end of the year to go about 35-40%. So export
Okay.
market has become a very big market for us, and a major reason for this is we held some big exhibitions, and in that we've now appointed dealers worldwide, whether it is Latin America, whether it is the Gulf region, Saudi, Oman, Portugal, Brazil, Angola, Russia. So yeah, we have set up dealerships worldwide now in many regions, and we plan to expand that further.
Okay. Understood. Yashwant ji, now you mentioned 16 crores of exports. Which are the markets where these exports are being targeted? If you could tell us the countries, that would help us.
Yeah, so the major countries, I would say major regions are Latin America, Russia, uh, Niger. These are countries where we've already exported and we've got repeat orders as well.
Okay.
So yeah, often if you'll see, these are areas with large mining backgrounds, and yeah, those are the toughest markets, and we plan to hit those markets running. We are not targeting easier markets around us like Southeast Asia and Africa, as the margins we are getting in Latin America, Russia are much better than the other markets, even Canada for that.
Okay. Fine. Uh, Now, one important aspect is on the market opportunity, which I missed out earlier. I just wanted to understand from you, Yashvardhan ji, since our industry is very much related to mining, roads, where crushers are largely used. Tell us one thing, sir, in the next 3 to 5 years, what is the kind of market opportunity you see here, in India specifically for crushers and for the kind of machines we make? And, what is our thought process by expanding our capacity? How are we planning to increase our market share, in this growing market? So if you could please tell us.
So I think the market opportunity is quite large. Like the existing market, I believe, is around 20,000 crores, out of which 7-8,000 crores is taken by the top three MNCs, as I mentioned earlier, Metso, Sandvik, Terex. These are five. These companies turn over $5 billion per year globally, and just India, they're doing about 2 to 3,000 crores each themselves. Apart from that, three other competitors are turning over 1,800 each, as I said, and Hillstone is turning around 300, as I mentioned earlier. So the balance market is still quite unorganized, and the players are local. And general industry trends, if you take mining and infra, neither of these industries have seemed to slow down in the past 10 to 15 years, and we expect the growth to continue. So another important takeaway from the breakdown I gave you is that the three local competitors, or four competitors, including us, have constantly been eating away the MNC's market share, and that is a trend we continue to expect in the market.
Okay. This is very nice to hear, Yashwardhan ji. But tell me one thing: are we competent on quality as well as on the price? I mean, because obviously MNC companies are known for their premium pricing. So just a
Right.
casual thought: is our quality and pricing perfect and much better than the MNCs? Because that's the reason we are eating market share. Could this be a reason?
Right. The only way one is going to eat away someone else's market share is if you are competent enough and you're providing a quality good as good as the one in the market. So
Okay.
yeah, if you take an MNC's product, they may be priced about take for example 100 rupees. Similarly,
Yeah.
my two major local competitors might be priced about 70, 75. I am
Yeah.
currently priced about 60, 65 and rising.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
the Indian consumer is still happily accepting that because the quality, what they have realized, is quite similar, and they're starting to trust the local Indian brands.
Okay. Okay. And I think very nice to hear that, Yashwardhan ji. Sir, one more thing which I wanted to understand is, servicing and maintenance, a very critical part of the business. Like, when you supply a machine to a customer, suppose there's a breakdown, there is a problem. What is the kind of service element which our company provides?
Of course, we have a large service team solely focused on providing maximum uptime to the customer. Apart from having just service engineers which will constantly visit a customer site every week, when a plant is commissioned, we also ensure our service engineers train the existing personnel who will then run the plant. So for
Yeah.
at least a month or two, they are provided training. They provided various documents like parts manuals, service manuals, operations manuals. Apart from that, this industry involves a lot of wear and tear. So one can always expect a crusher to break down. And as an
Yeah.
OEM, we have to ensure that we stock parts for our customers and we do. So
Okay.
any parts which are critical or which are rare components, we always keep in stock to ensure that our customers have maximum uptime for their
So,
plants.
I think very nice to hear. Yashwardhanji, now, to understand how, what kind of value addition we provide to the customers, because financials are important, but more importantly, to get repeat business, to get consistent business from customers, what are the value adds we provide to the customer? Is our service better? Is our quality of product better? Is execution better? So, one or two qualitative points if you can share for our viewers, which will help us understand, your company in a much better way.
I think the proof is in the pudding. Quite simply, if you take a look at just the numbers, the markets we've been in, we are growing in. The markets we have not entered, we are entering in. So quite simply, wherever we have gone, we've not gone backwards, and we've only gone forward. And
Yeah,
a culture is something which doesn't work in a closed environment, in a closed shed, hidden away from the world. It is something that works in the open in front of 50 other people who work in the same quarry, where there is not only my machine running, but there's also my competitor's machine running, whether it's Propel, Puzilana, Metso, Terex, Sandvik, whatever it is. Everyone is crushing the same rock from the same quarry, and everyone can see what the output is. So,
correct.
yeah, we've been in those quarries, and we've come out quite well. So, yeah,
So I think the product quality is very solid and excellent. That is
right.
as per what you say. I think Yashwardhanji, tell me one thing. One question which I did not ask you earlier. Which are the geographical regions where we are supplying to our local customers? Are we located in one pocket, or is it a pan India kind of customer base?
Right. So if you take a look at the geographical presence of the country of the company, we are mostly currently present in the northern region. A major
Okay.
reason for that is our factory is located in Roorkee, and we are one of the only players in northern India. All
Yeah.
our three major competitors, which I mentioned, are located in the south. So
Okay.
that has been a major advantage for us, no doubt. And this year, we've already started exploring the two other regions which we haven't explored, which is the south market and the east market. And both those regions, we have appointed teams, and we've already started clicking orders in those regions. So yeah, we expect to see more growth in those regions for sure as well.
Okay. 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 Now we come to the financials. I think financials for FY24 have been very rock solid. I think profit of 11 crores compared to just 22 lakhs. Revenues have been almost 38 crores compared to 11 crores. First, I want to understand, Yashwardhan ji, that what was the reason for such a sharp increase in revenue, sharp increase in profitability? Any specific reasons that business grew, value added products ज़्यादा बने, margins आपको अच्छे मिले? So what was the main reason for this big jump in profits from few lakhs to almost 11 crores of profit? So if you could please tell us.
So, firstly, that 11 crore profit, it includes other incomes. It is not just from operations. That includes an office sale. That office sale, I believe, is around 6 crores or something, 6, 7 crores, something like that.
Okay. Okay.
So, if you look at the margins of the company, the PAT margin of the company have typically been a standard 13-14%, which we currently have, and we expect that to increase. As for
Okay.
the revenue, why has the revenue increased? Quite simply because the products we are bringing to the market are not only good in quality, but we are bringing innovative products as well. And we are introducing a lot of firsts to India, whether it's hybrid track machinery, whether it's roller crushers, whether it's high frequency screens. There's a lot of wide range of products which solve the customer's pain points. So
Okay.
that is why we've been seeing a great growth in revenue.
Okay. Understood. So and for FY25, you mentioned your turnover was roughly about 30 crores. Is it right? Because I think in our conversations earlier you mentioned FY25. What is the revenue and the profit? If you could please tell us.
For FY25, we've done a revenue of 73 crores, and our
Okay.
PAT from that is 9.5 crores from just operations without
Okay.
any other income. We've again achieved a PAT of around 13-14%, I believe.
Fine. And Yashwardhanji, without giving a number, just if you can, tell us what is the broad outlook for FY26. You said you got an order book of 42 crores. Business is
Correct.
also growing. So can we expect this year also to be a much stronger year compared to last year?
I think the trend is going to remain approximately the same, and the growth is going to remain approximately the same. We're going to follow the same trends. We're already on that path, and there
Okay.
doesn't seem to be any roadblocks in the way.
Okay. I think very nice to hear that. Sir, now tell me one thing. What is the normal working capital cycle in our business? Like typically, how much time does it take for you to convert the business, that is the order book, into actual revenue, and how quickly do the customers pay you?
So yeah, so a customer typically gives me a PO where the PO states I deliver my goods in 45 to 60 days. The PO is taken from the date I receive about a 10 to 20% advance. Without that, we do not even start manufacturing. And the PO is also backed by either an LC or a bank delivery order so that
Okay.
we focus on zero credit.
Okay.
However, we only receive all the money once we have delivered the last bolt to the site. So
Okay.
typically, we receive the money after delivery, after all the goods have been delivered. Additionally, we take we a machine itself takes about 3 months to make all in all, you could say. The reason for
Okay.
that is to order casting. We keep some items in semi-finished state, like castings. Casting itself will take somewhere upwards of a month to make, and then we machine it for another 15-20 days, whatever it is.
Okay.
So
Okay.
a lot of goods are kept in a semi-finished state so that we can offer our customers 45 to 60-day delivery. So the
Okay.
working capital cycle is approximately 3 months, 3 to 3.5 months, and we
Okay.
are turning over the money approximately 4 times a year.
So, no, understood. Just one query which I had is that when you book a confirmed order, do you then book the raw material inventory, because raw materials are very critical portions. So, do you take that precaution that एक बार आपको confirmed order मिल गया, उसके बाद ही आप raw material planning करते हो? Does it work like this?
No, no, no. There are some goods which I have to keep in semi-finished state, and those I have to order and keep from before itself. Otherwise, I will not be able to furnish the demand that is there for the machines.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, some goods are already kept in semi-finished state. Some goods obviously you order as you get the order.
Okay. Understood.
As
So
I
now,
said, the
yeah.
requirements are very basic, like steel and things like that. So
Yeah.
that is easy to plan as you get your order.
Okay. Okay, now Yashvardhan ji, the most important question for today's interview. We are planning to go public, so it's a big, achievement and milestone for you personally, because now your company will go public. Sir, tell us how much money are we planning to raise from the capital markets, and what is the main purpose of this, objective of these funds?
Yeah, so the main we are raising about 42 crores from the capital markets, and the main use of funds is again working capital. If you take a look at use of funds, around 2 crores we expect to go towards R&D. About 6 to 7 crores will go towards capital equipment like CNC machines to improve our manufacturing capabilities, and the balance around 24 crores is going towards working capital requirements.
Okay.
In working capital requirements, we again just want to buy more raw materials and more supplies so that we can furnish the demand that we have. Often we are having to let go of orders because our customer is not able to provide enough advance of, like, say, 20%. If they're providing under 10%, I have to let go of an order. Or maybe if I have a very large LC, I again do not have LC limits, so the customer again will have to give me a big advance and not just an LC. So yeah, our main requirement is to increase working capital to not only improve our sales, but also our purchase, as I mentioned, as we are buying from traders. So again, we plan to use working capital to get supplies at a better rate.
Okay. Now, one question, from an investor standpoint, Yashwardhan ji, shareholders are now going to join you as partners in your growth journey. So, sir,
Hmm.
typically, as a promoter of the company, who runs this company, I would just like you to give a small message to the new shareholders who are planning to support you and, who will obviously subscribe to your public issue. Sir, if you could give a small message.
I think the only message we need to send to them is that the goal and vision of this company is extremely long term. We are not trying to build a company for the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. This is something which I plan to build and make in India for the next 20, 30 years, and build something extremely large which every Indian can be proud about. So that is the vision and goal of this company, where we are a complete end-to-end solutions pit to port partner, maybe one of the
Yeah.
only ones in India which hasn't happened till now. So that is the goal of this company.
I think very nicely mentioned, and definitely markets will support you, Yashwardhan ji. Yashwardhan ji, one more thing which I wanted to understand is that you are the MD of the company. I just wanted to know what is your functional role. Like typically, you must be having a proper management team, of entire team who will be supporting you. But currently, in your functional capacity, what are the key roles you play in the company?
So I am an engineer myself, and I've done industrial engineering from Purdue University, America. And if you look at my team is also quite well experienced. Whether it is my director of operations, Mr. Atul Rawat, he's worked in mining, quarrying for 20 plus years, and he handles all installation, sale, after sales support, and service. Then we have Mr. Papachan. He has been in the manufacturing industry for 23 plus years again. Then Ms. Ghosh, she again has been in marketing for 18 plus years. Then my sales team, all of them have been part of the biggest MNCs in the world for 15 years, and they've been heads for those regions. So yeah, my management team is very strong. What is my role in the management team? My role to a great extent is just organizing people and organizing things correctly. I myself,
Okay.
of course, I'm at the plant on a daily basis. My role, however, mainly will involve ensuring things are going correctly in different aspects of the company.
Okay. I think understood. Last question, Yashvardhan ji, is basically, apart from COVID, what is the normal business risk in our business? Is it execution? Is it the, raw material price increase, or maybe, some risk which, is typical for any industry? So, sir, what is the most important risk in our business? If you can please clarify.
One of the only major risks we see might be general economic slowdowns, which can affect things like the aggregates industry or the mining industry. However, we haven't seen those again for a very long time, and we don't see those as very big risks. Some other minor risks involve people copying our products and copying our machinery, but that again is combated by constantly changing your product line every 5 to 7 years so that
Okay.
your spare parts sale doesn't decrease. So
Okay.
yeah, we don't foresee too many risks as such.
No, no, I think you are absolutely right, because the runway for growth in your product category, Mr. Yashwardhan, is very large, and I'm quite sure you will be able to deliver it, quite superbly going forward also. So, sir, please accept my best wishes to you, your
Thank,
entire management team, and sir, best wishes for your forthcoming public issue also. Thank you very much.
thank you very much.